base still with another person in the physical body. That is your contact.
Right.
Is it not also the fact that at the end of the day, you're a medium by your profession and by your life, but you are also a human being, and human beings get scared? And there's a little part of that as well. Because I've seen you when you seem to be slightly edgy. I mean, at Chillingham Castle, you were slightly edgy, not when you were in your medium, sort of performing your mediumship, but when you were being Derek Akora, not Derek Akora the medium.
Yes.
You seem to be slightly edgy, and I think that that's because you're a human being, and I don't think anyone will eradicate that, whether they're in tune with the spirit world or not.
Yeah, I agree with that, because, I mean, after all said and done, I am human, and, you know, every medium's human, and it's very good that you bring this up. However, with the amount of times in hands-on experience of the different locations over the years, the further it goes on, the lesser or likelihood of that fear factor showing bodily in the body language diminishes. But it suddenly comes back to the fore when I come across, as I've done just of recently in some of our locations, some of the we've investigated, something that is I haven't experienced before, and that does get you edgy. But if you've experienced it and it comes again on another location because you've experienced it, you say, well, I can cope with it a bit more because I know what's coming.
But what reaction do you get from Sam when that's happening, when you're having that fear, that Derek Akora fear?
I shout at him. I shout at him quite, even if you can't hear me, I shout him mentally, Sam, you know, I don't truly understand this. Are you there? Are you alongside me? Are you going to retrieve me? Are you going to bring me back?
Because you were angry with him.
Yeah.
At one point.
I was, Yvette, and that was because that experience I'd never allowed, or even Sam had, let's say, persuaded me to allow myself to become that, like, if that's the right word, complete vessel for that spirit entity to either talk or be noticed within the atmosphere through my physical...
How easy is it for spirits to actually enter, as it were, into a human body? Where you've seen films and we see you do it as well, where you sort of, you become this other person, you have another voice. How easy is that to achieve?
It's easy, it's quite easy if the vessel, meaning the instrument, the person, openly allows...
But sometimes you hear people that they don't want that to happen, do they? That, you know...
Chillingham with me, that's a prime example.
Yeah, when Rick was there, I mean, he didn't...
Yeah, but we perceived that experience as being a spirit entering Rick. We didn't put it down in rational terms to all the other possibilities of what it could have been. You know, we're perceiving it there, as you've just put it across, as if it was a spirit entering the body. I don't believe it was.
It still fascinates me how there is such a big difference between believers and non-believers, and all the various accounts you get. I mean,
do you believe in ghosts, Rick?
100%, yeah. For the stuff
he does now.
For the stuff that I've seen, I mean, what's happened to me at various locations, from what I've heard from Derek, but I also take on the views of what Jason's saying as well. There is reasons. I mean, I've sat back and thought to myself, have I seen something paranormal? And Jason spoke to me and come up with a logical reason, and we found out that reason's been true. But there is other stuff that has happened, which has made me think there's absolutely no logical explanation for it at all. That there is something out there.
Neil, do you believe in ghosts?
When I started on this job, I was completely in the middle, and I think now I'm swaying towards 80%.
Really?
Belief, yeah.
We were all ready to start our investigation, but for some reason we couldn't stop giggling. There was no reason for this happening at all, but we were brought back down to earth as a cupboard under the stairs opened on its own.
Wait, what's that? No, come on.
Oh, God.
There's a little boy, it's one of three that's here. There's 3 children. He's one of them that was upstairs. Okay.
Can you see him?
Yes, he's a little boy. He's, I would say, in the way he's looking at me, he's lost a number of his teeth here. I suppose you'd say scruffy-haired little lad. But I feel what's coming from is a heart of gold, a beautiful little boy. Had a problem with his right leg, an impediment. He's one of 3 children that are not in visitation here in this lovely home. He's here semi-resident, so to speak. And it's because of this little boy. I noticed a cat, and you know, this is why this cat is drawn and attracted here to this property, because of the activity of the children. The cat can link in with the vibrations of the children who play upstairs. They're upstairs, but there's a connection with these children and another resident individual spirit gentleman here. One of the little girls is called Roseanne, or Rosanny, and the boy, I feel this is the boy here, who's Anthony. These children go up the flight of stairs, they go along the landings, they go towards one particular bedroom. You'll show me, Sam? Okay, that's where I was getting the emanations before, okay? And also, the prayer state, they're attracted to the prayer state. They come from the time. What time zone, Sam? Yes. 40 years. 40 years after the established foundations of this building. 40 years. So what year would that be, Sam, that these children are linked to? 1664. 1664. To go back.
I think it's important to note this door does not have a latch and opens naturally of its own accord, which is why it's been sellotaped shut, and that the gaffer tape simply come unhinged. That's why it does that. I mean, if you leave that now, if we do an example.
Right, well, it was like that, and it was stuck down
Yeah.
like that.
And it's been like that for some time. So when the gaffer tape, if you leave it, leave it, but gaffer tape comes unstuck.
Yeah.
And it opens of its own accord.
Okay, well, that may be.
Well, you know, as you just said, that may be Yvette. There's a little boy here. He's one of three. He's a charming little child. There's nothing negative about him. And it's because of these three children. The amazing thing about the cat, the attraction of the cat, you know, and I feel this goes back. I really feel so strong to say that cat, an incarnation into this lifetime now, has had some kind of link with these children in a previous time.
The cat has?
Yes. This is why this cat has just suddenly turned up.
You mean the physical cat that
The physical
stays
cat
here?
that's come here now. He's turned up at the... You see, I feel it's because now, and I do know this because speaking very briefly to Carol Leona, when she said that she was, you know, selling up and what have you, this often happens with spirit people, linked either children or adults to a particular property. I've seen this so many times in the past, where a hive of activity takes place when, as the children like the lady, also the gentleman, which I'll talk about, hopefully he'll show himself upstairs, are a little bit despondent or down. They've liked her being here. Right. They've enjoyed it, and maybe they're thinking, hey, who's going to come here next?
Are you picking up anything in this particular part of the house?
You see, I want to talk about something to do with the foundations. I know for a fact, an absolute spiritual fact, that this property is foundational on top of a very, very, very strong ley line. There's no two ways. Oh, it's so strong here. And you know, I'm also being taken back in thought with this gentleman going back in time, and there's a very strong connection. It might not be this particular home, and it goes back before when? 1626. Let's go back beyond and down, because as we go from... It's a monastery. But that's subsided. That is not so active these days. It was known by previous owners. It was known of the monks walking through. Hooded monks.
Oh.
Oh.
How long, when were monks here?
1400 and something.
And why were there monks here in this house?
Not in this house. before
on
this
a previous
house.
building before the
Yes.
house on this site.
Yes.